already got my profile picture up for my character for this run. This is, of course, so welcome to Chapter 2 of the Karen run, wherein the main character is a somewhat stereotypical, per the internet lingo, entitled rude Karen type. And yeah, no, I being mean in games is usually not my thing, but I'm invested enough in Scarlet Hollow and seeing all of its different variations that I really wanted to see what would happen if you were just rude to everyone. And I know that there are other people who are fascinated about that, or potentially interested to see that as well, and also have trouble playing it. So if I'm going to play this mode anyway, I figure I might as well do so in a way that other people who don't feel up to playing it themselves can at least watch. Anyway, another kind of cool thing just generally about vis-a-vis my streams, I have also added a minimal chat scroll up at the top of the screen, so if anyone comes in and comments, people will be able to read it. I'm very excited. But it is fairly minimal. It's like a top of the screen ticker scroll thing, so it shouldn't interfere too much with the visuals. So, all right. Let's see. So we've got my mic looks good. Desktop audio is maybe a little loud, so I'm going to pull that down a little. Probably that's okay. Microphone is good. Alrighty. So let's go. Oh, and I started, also just for some context, for anyone who might be watching today, I started a little earlier than usual to make sure that I would be able to get through the whole chapter today. Fingers crossed. Because I have plans this evening. However, next week I don't have plans in the evening, so wait, well, sort of I do. We'll see. If I am able to stream next week, I will also do all of Chapter 3. That's the hope. But yeah, we shall see. Alrighty. And with that, thus begins Episode 2. I think I'm not going to do a recap of their in-game recap of Episode 1, but I am going to pull open the journal. So, major decisions made on Monday include, so first of all, Karen has powerful build and mystical. I've decided she's a mystical she's got mystical abilities, but is in deep denial about them. And powerful build because, I don't know, Karen types sometimes go to the gym, I guess. And I was looking for things that were not potentially friendly or empathetic. Alright. So we refused the boiled peanuts when offered, found an opossum living in the dresser, stole some of my cousin's ice cream extremely unsubtly, lost Gretchen in the woods and put her out of her misery, met Stella's friend Kanika and her mother Sybil and learned about ditchlings, and returned to my cousin's estate before going to bed. Because Stella actually... so our Karen character was so unlikable that Stella rescinded the offer of letting her stay. Alrighty. You open your eyes. The sun has risen. The birds are singing. You are still alive, and for now, you are safe. Your gaze wanders across the room to the window and the woods beyond. You wonder if the monsters are lurking there, right now, just beyond the trees, ready to pounce as soon as you leave the crumbling estate. A familiar unease settles into your gut, tangling into a knot of anxiety, wriggling as the events of last night play out in your head. You can't help but remember the sight of pale faces jeering at you as they carried Gretchen's poor little body into the underbrush. You're not sure if you'll ever feel okay again after what you've seen, but you can't stay in bed forever. Hunger pulls you from the clammy depths of the mattress. Let's look out the window. You creep toward the window, careful not to be seen by whatever might be lurking in the garden. For a second, you thought you saw movement. It could have been an animal. It could have been something else. Whatever it was, it's gone now. Maybe you'll head out there and investigate after you've finished waking up. Yeah, no way Karen cares enough about Stella to text her. Time to start your day. You're back in the kitchen. Frou-Frou eyes you from her favorite spot on the counter. Yeah, I think Karen is going to keep trying to aggressively pet the cat who doesn't want to be pet. Despite your previous interactions, you know you can get this cat to like you. You're good with cats. You approach cautiously, holding your hand at a non-threatening angle, showing Frou-Frou that you are friend, not foe. You withdraw your now bloodied hand. It's all part of the process. A few scratches aren't enough to deter you. You're certain she'll come around. Tabitha. Hey. You sure took your time getting up. Karen. It's like 8 a.m. Is that late? Tabitha. It's late for someone who was supposed to be at work half an hour ago. Like me. I wanted to make sure I relayed this message in person in case you decided to ignore my texts again. I don't want any repeats of last night. From now on, no running around in the woods after dark. It's dangerous out there. You could fall down a cliff. You could get stuck in a hidden cave somewhere. You could get lost in the woods and never be found. Just because nothing bad happens here doesn't mean it's safe. And just because Stella spends a lot of time in the woods, it doesn't mean she'll keep you out of trouble. I want you home by sunset from here on out. Let's see. I'm trying to decide if Karen would care enough to ask what is up with her and Stella, but yeah, let's just go with Karen. Fine, whatever. Tabitha. I'm late enough as it is. I'm going to work, and I expect to see you here at sunset. Tabitha takes a few steps towards the door. Oh, and by the way, you owe me $4.39 for the ice cream. Your cousin huffily exits the kitchen. Her footsteps fade down the hall, ending in the characteristic creak, then slam, of the front door as it opens and closes behind her. Once again, you are the only human in the estate. A text from Stella. Stella. Hey, hope you're holding up okay, or as good as you can with all the stuff we saw last night. I was up most of the night on cryptid forums. No real answers yet. I'm at the library now if you want to join. I have scones. Oh man, can't decide between after last night, hell no, or ghost her. Man, go out of her... Does Karen go out of her way to be rude, or just be passive rude? I kind of think out of her way. Karen. After last night? Hell no. And that's that. Time to start your day. As your eyes wander to the garden door, you shudder, remembering the brief glimpse of something you saw from your upstairs window. It was probably just a raccoon, but the uncertainty of what you saw gnaws at you and compels you to investigate, if only to prove that it was nothing. At the very least, you don't see anything now. You wander further into the garden, trying to pinpoint the spot where that thing had been lurking, if indeed there had been a thing to begin with. Check the ground for clues. You crouch down, pushing aside the greenery to examine the soft earth. A boot print. A big boot print. And what looks like some kind of viscera. Your thoughts turn to the specter from the night before. You snap a quick photo, just in case it comes in handy later. You keep it to yourself for now. No need to cause any worry just yet. Also, she doesn't like these people enough to pull them in on things. You head back inside. Time to figure out what to do with the rest of your day. And there isn't really much else to do besides head to town. The walk back to town is much less pleasant today than it was yesterday, when you didn't yet know that the woods were full of monsters and strange men who know your name. You stare anxiously into the darkness between the trees, searching for any signs of movement, but the woods are still, at least for now. The autumn-tinged mountains, sprawling for miles in every direction, now feel less like beautiful scenery and more like the walls of a cage. Your phone buzzes in your pocket. Stella. Look who I found at library. Said she was up all night thinking about the video. Adding you to a group text. Kanika. I'm only here because it's quieter than the store, or was, lol, and I'm trying to figure out what animal that could be. I don't buy into this harbinger of doom stuff. Stella. We know what animals they are. They're ditchlings, and they are harbingers of doom. Sounds like they're having fun. Karen. I thought I told you I'm out. But she's never going to take no for an answer, is she? You might as well make your way to the library and get this over with. Almost back to town. You make it to town in one piece. No creatures jumped out at you. No scary men blocked your path. The sight of other people is comforting, helping you to forget the things you've witnessed, as if they happened to someone else. Avery. Oh, hey, Karen. We were just talking about you. I stopped by Sybil's to pick up her new tea blend and, well... Sybil. You're the biggest thing to come into town since the coal mine. Folks have been absolutely buzzing about you. Avery. You went out with Stella last night, right? Did something happen out there? She barely even waved when she walked by. And Gretchen wasn't with her. They're never apart. Karen. I'm definitely going for geez, nosy much? Yeah, alright, so because I like the option saying, I will start it with what the option said. So, Karen. Geez, nosy much? What happened last night was messed up, and I'm not particularly interested in reliving it with someone I barely know. Avery. Okay, I get it. Sorry I asked. I'd better head back to work before my break's over. See you around. And thanks for the new blend, Sybil. It smells fantastic. Sybil. Of course. It's chaga and lemon balm. Helps with stress and tension. Avery. See ya. Sybil. Take care now, Avery. Sybil. I see you're a private person. I can respect that. You never know how someone might respond to hearing the truth of what you encountered last night. I'd better get back to it myself. I'm glad I was able to catch you this morning, if only to see how you were holding up. Please don't hesitate to stop by if I can be of any help. Karen. What is wrong with the people here? There are monsters in the woods. People in this town are in danger every minute they stay here. Tabitha won't listen to me. Stella barely seems fazed by anything that's happened. Duke drove off last night like we'd all got like all we'd gone through was a normal hunting trip. Kanika doesn't seem to be taking this very seriously. We have footage of what happened. And for someone who was quick to call what we saw last night a sign of impending doom, you sure seem awfully calm about all of this. Also, I'd like to state, for the record, I've already gotten all the achievements in this game, but going through that list and blaming everyone for being... there's an achievement for that. Can't quite remember which one that was. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to look it up, actually. Let's see. Nope. Ah, yes, it's the achievement I didn't come here to make friends, which is throw everyone under the bus when talking to Sybil in episode 2. And in fact, that is Karen did not come here to make friends. Sybil. They care, Karen. They just aren't showing it in a way that you're used to. I know you're no stranger to death, but the folks of Scarlet Hollow lead difficult lives. The whole town is death. It was founded on it. It was built on top of it, and every day it breathes it in. Loss and mourning are baked into this place, and everyone here has had to learn to live with it in their own ways. For most people, that's forgetting. As for what you saw, well, people tell a lot of stories in the hills, especially city folk who wouldn't know a bear from a Bigfoot. No offense, of course, but I'm afraid that means most folks aren't going to take your claims very seriously, at least not until they see what you saw with their own eyes. Be gentle with them, Karen. And as for me, well, don't mistake my calm demeanor for complacency. I'm so sorry to cut our conversation short, but I've got things that need tending to. Stay safe, and God bless. You probably have a bit of time before you're needed at the library. Sure, let's swing by the general store. This is your first time seeing the general store in the light of day. A young man sits at the table by the register, too preoccupied with his phone to care that you stepped in. Karen. So, if I wanted to buy some chips or something here, do I talk to you, or... He sighs. I guess, yeah. Kanika decided to skip work today, so of course whatever plans I had didn't matter. Just take the chips, I don't care. You grab a bag of salt and vinegar chips from a nearby shelf. It will sustain you in the coming days. Miles. Cool. You turn and leave the general store. You enter the former town hall. What once must have been a stately foyer has been converted into rows of shelves. Meeting rooms and offices long ago gave way to assorted reference collections and reading areas. Stella. Oh, hey, you made it! You quietly shush Stella before heading over to her and Kanika's table. This is a library! Stella. You made it! Glad you could join us. Kanika. Morning, Karen. You look tired. Let's see. I'm gonna go with snitch on the guy from the general store. Karen. Oh, before I forget, I went to the general store earlier and the guy there made me take chips without paying for them. Stella. Karen, you can't just snitch on someone like that. Kanika. Ugh. I asked Miles to cover the store for one day, and he can't even be bothered to do that. Typical. I'm paying him, you know? It's no wonder he's chronically unemployed. I do still have to say, Kanika, your brother is a teenager. He doesn't need to be employed. Oh, hello, Johnny! Oh, gosh. I wonder if I can make a background. Because, as you might see, thank you for lurking. I put the, thingy scroll up at the top. Although, for Scarlet, I wonder if I should pull it in a little like that. I don't think that matters. Alright, I'm gonna not worry about that. Kanika. Anyway, I guess we should get started. Before you dig in, you remember the blueprint you found in the garden. Karen. Hey, before we dig in, I found something in the garden this morning. You hold up your phone and show Kanika and Stella the photo you took in the garden. Karen. These prints were in the bushes with a clear line of sight to my window. Stella. Dang, that's creepy. Are you okay? Kanika. What in the world is that liquid around it? It looks like pus. Karen. I can't say I'm thrilled at the thought of someone watching my room. Stella. No kidding. Maybe you'll be safer if you don't stay at the estate. Do you think it could be that creep we saw outside of the general store last night? He knew your name, and those boot prints match up with the mining getup. Kanika. Whoa, apparently I missed a lot last night, huh? You're not talking about Wayne, are you? That guy keeps coming to my mom's tea room. I think there's something really wrong with him. Stella. Yeah, we are. Oh, hello, Artemisia! Thanks for tuning in. And, I wish you a relatively smooth and easy time with your homework. Stella. Let's see, where were we? Yes, we are talking about Wayne. Stella. Yeah, we are. I wonder if there's any connection between that guy and what happened in the woods last night. Kanika. Like what? Stella. I mean, I don't have anything specific, but we do have that whole prophecy of impending doom angle to explore, and this photo is weird. Kanika. I can't stop thinking about those splatters on the ground. If whoever left those prints is sick, maybe it's from the creatures you encountered. Hey there, strangers. And literal stranger. Stella. Hey, Oscar, this is Karen. You know, Tabby's cousin? Oscar. Oh, I should have known you were a Scarlet. You look so much like Vivian. Not that I knew her very well. I was still a little kid when she left. But that Scarlet resemblance, it's, strong. I'm Oscar Gutierrez, Chief Librarian, and only librarian. Stella. Oscar's amazing. He practically built this library from scratch. Kanika. Yeah, I'm a little jealous of what the kids around here get to grow up with. They don't know how good they have it. Back when I was in elementary school, all the library had was a couple shelves of boring books donated by old people. Oscar. Y'all are too kind. But speaking of kids, have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there. You know the crowd she hangs around with. Stella. They're good kids at heart. I'm sure they're just up at the old Maxwell place doing teen stuff. I went up there plenty of times in my day, but I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled. Yeah, I think Karen does not have an opinion or care at all about this, so you say nothing and let the others talk. Kanika. You might not want to let her run off like that anymore, though. It's not as safe as it usually is around here. Oscar. Is that so? Stella. Kanika's right. There's some weird stuff going on out in the woods. That's actually why we came in today. Have you ever heard of creatures called ditchlings? They're a type of cryptid that shows up around places on the brink of disaster. They kind of look like if the Pillsbury Doughboy was a creepypasta. Kanika's mom told us about them last night after seeing some footage we got in the woods. Oscar. Ditchlings? Doesn't ring a bell. Stella. Dang, worth a shot. Okay, if you were, say, trying to predict a horrible disaster that might befall our town, where would you start looking? Oscar. Well, they say history repeats itself, so I'd probably try and figure out what sorts of disasters this region typically falls prey to. Should I be worried about something? Stella. I don't know yet. I'll be right back. Gonna go nab some more books. Kanika. I'm pretty sure Stella's barking up the wrong tree, Oscar. I don't think you have to worry about any horrible calamity befalling the town. But she's right about the weird stuff. There's definitely something unusual going on out in those woods. Karen. Get out of here while you still can. The woods are chock full of monsters, and Sybil says it's only gonna get worse. Oscar. I'm gonna try calling Rosalina again. Kanika. I'm sure she's fine, really. Rosalina's a smart kid. She knows better than to go around getting into trouble, and we'll make sure to keep our eyes peeled. Oscar. Thanks, Kanika. And Karen, if you see a 13-year-old girl with a black braid and glasses, would you let her know that her dad is worried about her? Oscar anxiously wanders off, phone in hand. Stella. Got him! Just grabbed a whole mess of local history books. Stella sets a massive pile of books on the table and pulls up a chair. Stella. All right. This is going to be so much faster with the two of you here to help out. Got our snacks, got our source documents. Let's get this research party started. Reading awaits. I guess Karen is probably going to read the two that are about the Scarlet family because as someone who is intrinsically self-centered, she is probably the most curious about her own family lines. So let's see. Flip through Veins of Scarlet, a history of the Scarlet Hollow coal mines. Of course, flip through, so ... Forced into retirement at age 50 due to a war injury from his time in the Indian Wars, exacerbated by his short stint serving as a captain in the Confederacy, Silas Scarlet also lost his eldest two sons to that bloodiest of wars, leaving his third eldest son, Andrew Jackson Scarlet, to take charge of the mine. Under his leadership, the mine prospered, undoubtedly in part due to the growth of the railroad industry. Managed to evade the coal union for decades, making them one of the most profitable mines in the country. Andrew Scarlet built the surrounding town into what it is today, with expensive stone buildings, a bustling main street, and overseeing it all the elegant Scarlet estate that was, until 1895, the largest and finest feat of architecture in the region. Culminating in the tragic collapse of 1918, it was found that Charles Shaw, the co-manager of the mine, had loosened security measures to increase production during World War I, resulting in a fatal collapse and the deaths of over 160 men and boys, some as young as 10. The casualties included Andrew Jackson Scarlet's son, Theodore, his brother, Enoch V. Scarlet, who had taken over for their aging father during the bustle of the war, managed to pull the mine from the brink of ruin, thereby saving the town. So this is how your family made its fortune. Alright. Time to flip through Silas Scarlet, soldier, woodsman, leader. Silas Everett Scarlet was born to Colonel Everett J. Scarlet in 1818, one of 12 siblings. He grew up in eastern North Carolina during a tumultuous time in the state's history, and not much is known about his life before he joined the Army in 1836. He quickly rose through the ranks, in part due to his father's connections, but also due to a particular ruthlessness, for which he received the name Bloody Silas Scarlet. The federal government granted the now Captain Silas a tract of bounty land in exchange for his service in the Indian War, and he settled into the hills of North Carolina in 1841. That land would become Scarlet Hollow. But it started as a simple log cabin, built by Silas's own two hands, occupied by his family of 10, Silas, his wife Mary Joseph Scarlet, and their 8 children. Logging business brought many workers and fellow landowners to the hills, but it wasn't until Silas discovered rich seams of coal running underneath the entire region that Scarlet Hollow was really put on the map. He saved what he could and bought the surrounding hillside at a great discount, cleverly hiding what he knew about the land's true value. Thus, he had all the resources to found Scarlet Hollow's now famous coal mine. You're finished with this one. I'm going to say that Karen does not have a sense of fun or imagination and doesn't think that Appalachian folk monsters is worth flipping through. So, Karen, I think I'm all done. Let's check in. Stella. Alright, if we're going with what Kanika's mom told us last night, I think we can rule out any natural disasters as what brought the ditchlings here. But not nuclear incidents. Looks like our state has a history with those. What about y'all? Find anything? Before you can respond, a handsome black cat leaps onto the table. Stella quickly slams her book shut. Stella. Aw, hey Pixel. Kanika. You might want to close your book. He loves to rip up any paper he can find. Stella. Haha, don't worry, little guy. I didn't forget your treats. Pixel immediately goes to town on Stella's treats. Oscar.
Sorry if Pixel is bothering y'all. Hopefully he hasn't gobbled up any of our books. He can't stand the thought that people might pay attention to anything that isn't him.
Karen. Why do you let a paper shredder freely wander a library?
Oscar. Have you seen this little guy's face? How could I say no to that?
You decide to leave Pixel be. The cat curls up on the table, fast asleep. Oscar.
Alright, I'd better get back to shelving. Let me know if y'all need anything.
Yes, Artemisia. Indeed, Pixel is a cat, goes where he wants. Let's see. Karen. Stella, what was that you were saying about nuclear incidents? Kanika. You were talking about that Goldsboro thing, right? Stella. Yeah. Apparently in the 60s, a B-52 carrying a live warhead broke up mid-air and dropped a couple of bombs. Oscar.
Fascinating bit of history there. The first of the 2 bombs landed upright after its parachute got caught in a tree. Thankfully, it didn't go off. At the time, the government claimed that the bomb was unarmed, but it later came out that the only thing preventing a detonation was a single electrical switch which failed to trigger on descent.
Stella. And 60 years later, the second bomb still hasn't been recovered.
Oscar. Right. Its conventional explosive disintegrated in midair, but most of the nuclear material was made unrecoverable by flooding. If I remember correctly, they just buried it and sealed it up.
Let's go with Karen. Oh god, we're screwed. Kanika. I mean, we're all gonna die eventually, but not because of that. Goldsboro is also like 400 miles from here. I think we're good. Stella. Look, you never know with radiation. Kanika. We actually know quite a bit. It just melts you. It doesn't make monsters. And a 60-year-old bomb isn't going to explode on its own hundreds of miles away and kill us here. Stella. You never know. There could always be a whole underground society of bomb-worshipping mutants just waiting to blow it up. Kanika. I've missed this. Oh, Artemisia. Which part is debatable? The, You never know with radiation part? Let's see. You lean in and quietly whisper to Stella and Kanika. Do you guys think that there's, like, a cult here? A lot of folks here feel tense and closed off. The whole vibe of this town is off, and it feels like folks are hiding something. Kanika. Or maybe people here just aren't used to strangers. Karen. So, about the coal mines here. Oh. Yeah, no, fair, Artemisia. Debatable about a bomb not blowing up after 60 years. Just because it hasn't blown up yet doesn't mean it can't still. Kanika visibly shudders. I get cold sweats just thinking about being in a place like that. I feel for the guys who work up there. I could never. Stella, speak for yourself. I love a good crevasse. Karen, what if the ditchlings are coming from the mines? Maybe there's something down there making people sick and changing them? Stella, that wouldn't explain how many ditchlings we saw last night. Like, sure, occasionally a miner goes missing, but we saw dozens of the things. Kanika, I mean, It's definitely not mutated miners, but what if there's some sort of parasite down there? Maybe it got into some animals and spread into the woods. And now that I think about it, Wayne's a miner. Maybe that ties him into all of this. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's one of the more plausible explanations we've got so far. Karen. So, Silas Scarlet. Yes, good. Perfect for the Karen character. Wow, talk about a self-made man. Seems like a great dude. Stella. Kanika. You're kidding, right? Oscar. That book is a perfect example of why you should use multiple sources for your research instead of trusting the first thing you read on a subject. Kanika. Yep, they made us all read that book in the 5th grade, and it paints a really flattering picture of the guy. Dude was a total monster, though. Stella. Sorry you're related to him. Karen. I get it. It must be one of those burial ground situations, right? Like in Poltergeist? Kanika. Ha! Absolutely not. Stella. Even I know that's just urban legend stuff. If stolen land is cursed, then all of North America is cursed. Kanika. Yeah, Scarlet Hollow isn't special. They make a fair point. You say nothing. Stella. There's an awful lot of mine-related stuff in my notes. Maybe that should be our next stop. We can poke around, find out if anyone's seen anything weird. Kanika. Just to clarify, you're suggesting we go to question some of the miners, right? We are not poking around unprepared in the actual mines, right? Stella. Silence. Kanika. Right? Stella. Yeah, totally, 100%. I would never. We don't even have a good reason to go down there. Kanika. Good. Let's keep it that way. You know how I feel about mines. Stella. I promise, Neeks, we're just going to question some of the miners. And if that question gives us a good reason to poke around, say, a cool abandoned coal mine, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Kanika. You can cross that bridge when we come to it. I am not going underground. Stella. I'm just messing with you. We'll stick to the surface. Kanika. Okay, good. And hopefully we can find out what's wrong with Wayne while we're at it. Karen. Do we have to? This seems like a lot of work. Oh, like... Artemisia, is that emoji meant to represent the dumpster fire that is Silas Scarlet and also my Karen character? Stella. We can make it quick. Just question a few miners and be done with it. The fate of the town might rest on our shoulders after all. Kanika. Okay, I mean, I'm sure that second part isn't true, but we've got to get to the bottom of whatever's going on. The only problem is Tabitha. She is not exactly going to be thrilled to see us snooping around the mines. Stella. We can be sneaky. I'll make sure to be a good lookout. She'll never even know we were there. Stella continues. Look at us, going out on a caper together. I missed this. Kanika. I missed it too. I mean, sure, it's not under the best circumstances, but I've been so wrapped up in running the store, I didn't realize how much I missed being able to hang out with you. Though, there is something missing. Stella and Kanika at the same time. Reese! Kanika. I really miss that dude. I can't believe how long it's been since we've seen each other. Have you seen him lately? Stella. Nope. I've tried to plan stuff, but he's been too sick. Kanika. I didn't realize it was getting that bad. That poor guy. Stella. You know, we could just pop over and surprise him. He seemed excited to meet Karen. Maybe we'll finally get him to leave his little cave. Kanika. Hell yeah, let's do it. Stella. Alright, let's roll out. See ya, Oscar. We'll let you know if we run into Rosalina. Oscar.
Thanks, guys. I'll keep y'all posted.
Reese's home stands... Okay, actually, I'm gonna... Yeah, no, I'll read this until there starts to be music again, and then I'm gonna take a quick break. So. Well, there are sounds. Bird sounds and stuff. Yeah, no, okay, before we transition all the way into a new scene, I will be right back here. Hello, I return. With refilled tea and water. Reese's home stands at the edge of the forest wall, an isolated buffer cushioning the rest of the town from an unending wilderness. Stella. Reese, it's Stella. I brought some buddies, too. Reese's mother. Shh, not so loud. He's still sleeping. Can I help you with something? The woman in the doorway stares directly into your eyes. You can practically feel her simmering irritation washing over you. Kanika. Hi, Dr. Kelly. We were wondering if it would be okay if Reese could come hang out? Stella. Nothing strenuous, we promise. Dr. Kelly. I'm not going to wake him up. If he's sleeping, he probably needs it. Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what he can manage right now anyway. Kanika. Oh no, poor Reese. Stella. It's just been so long since either of us have gotten a chance to hang out with him. I'm sure he and Karen would get along super well, too. I can't decide between that or remain silent. Yeah, no, I think Karen just aggressively does not care about this at the moment. Dr. Kelly looks you up and down. You don't think you've done anything wrong, but she's certainly making you feel like you have. Reese's mom turns back to the house, sighing. Dr. Kelly. Sorry, I know that was a little rude. You just want to hang out with Reese, and he misses both of you too. She sighs again, as if deciding whether to finish her thought. He's usually feeling his best around mid-afternoon. Why don't you come over tomorrow? We can have some supper, and y'all can hang out for a bit. I don't promise he'll be perky, but I'm sure it'll brighten his spirits to see you two again. And I suppose you can come too, Karen. Stella. That would be great. I can bring a side dish? Maybe deviled eggs? Does he still eat those? Dr. Kelly. No, eggs are a little too much for him. They don't settle well. You can leave the cooking to me. I know what he can handle. Stella. Okay, I'll bring soda then. Dr. Kelly. That's not... Okay, yes, fine. You can bring soda. Nothing with caffeine. Ginger ale, preferably. Oh, and leave the dog at home. Stella. Kanika. Silence. Stella. Okay, no dogs. Kanika. Thanks so much, Dr. Kelly. We'll stop bothering you now. See you later. Dr. Kelly nods in acknowledgement and quickly shuts the door. The sound of several locks clicking into place can be heard from within. Kanika. God, that woman makes me so nervous. Are you okay, Stella? Stella. I'm fine. I remember she used to be so nice and carefree when we were kids. She always had the best stickers when we had to get our shots. Maybe she's just stressed about Reese. Kanika. Or maybe she's just nice to kids. Stella. Either way, I guess it's just the three of us. You gonna drive? Kanika. Yeah, sorry. I don't like the thought of going up there without the van. Stella. Cool. I'll take my shortcut then. It shouldn't take long for me to get there. You're welcome to tag along, Karen. Don't worry, I won't be offended if you'd rather ride with Kanika. I'm sure you're probably sick of the woods. Kanika. Either way works for me. Yeah. Oh, hello! Hello, Becca Loves Games. My traits for this character are powerful build and mystical, but I have decided that my character is in deep denial, because I am trying to play her as like a stereotypical like Karen type, as you know, entitled white lady kind of style. More accurately, I'm trying to play her as rude to everyone. Just because it's like a concept run where I wanted to see what that looked like. It's not my usual thing, but it's like, I don't know, I just came up with the concept for the Karen run and was very pleased with it. So she is mystical, but in very deep denial, so we'll very rarely ever choose those options when they're available, and otherwise powerful build, because I feel like probably, like, goes to the gym. Oh, yeah. Now, Becca loves... is Becca okay for a shorthand for your name? Yeah, no, and I feel that, like, I don't normally do the rude to other people thing, but since I really wanted to see it in this game, I was like, well, I might as well stream it so other people can watch and not have to do it themselves. But yeah, nah. So, there is no way that Karen is going to walk when she could instead catch a ride. Karen. I'll ride with Kanika. I'll see you at the mines. Kanika is a careful driver, but her old van still bumps around on the mountain roads. Oh, I'm glad to hear it, Becca. That is the hope, is that I am doing a service for others as well on this run. Kanika. Sorry about that little diversion, but I'm glad it means we have solid plans with Reese. It's hard to get him to come out, and I don't think the isolation is good for his health, no matter what his mom says. I kind of feel like Karen is not a person who wants to get to know other people, but also might be nosy, so might ask about Stella having a thing with cars, but like... First is probably gonna just be like, you know, just to try. Oh yeah, no, I am sure that Kanika will really not like her. Let's at least try asking. Karen, can you please drive me out of town? Like, right now, we could both just leave and go somewhere far away from here where neither of us need to worry about ditchlings or cataclysmic events. Kanika. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's no way I'm crossing Tabitha like that. The fact that she brought you here is a big deal. She doesn't see people. She doesn't have guests. You being here has gotta mean something to her. And if she found out that I was the one who drove you out of town, which she would, there's no telling what might happen. The Scarlets still hold a lot of sway in this town, even if your cousin's all that left is all that's left of them. And hey, I don't think there's a lot to worry about yet. The ditchlings are just some weird animal, right? And if we just stay out of the woods, I'm sure we'll be fine. Try to decide if I want to poke at any of the... Thank you, Becca. I try. It's... but yes, let's see. Yeah, okay, I'll be a little bit nosy. Karen. Does Stella have a thing with cars? It took some convincing to get her to ride back with Duke last night, even after everything that happened in the woods. She brushed me off when I asked her about it last night, too. I was wondering if there's more to it than just, like, not liking them. Kanika. Wait, she actually got into a car last night? She must have been really freaked out. That's how her parents died. Car crash. She was in the car too, just some cuts and bruises. But she doesn't like cars and tries her best to stay away from them. I don't think she's ever actually going to leave this town. Oh man. Oh, thank you so much for following, Becca. Oh man, I'm just like, nope, all of these are way too nice. I'm a little tempted by has she seen someone, like a therapist, but I think Karen's nosiness has been fulfilled and she doesn't care past there. Kanika. It's just not fair. She's such a sweetheart, and so were her folks. Breaks my heart. Let's see. One more thing, which is, so what's actually going on with Reese? Kanika. Good question. I wish I knew. His mom's been saying he's sick for years, and it's not like she's wrong about it. He's been a wreck the few times I've seen him. Okay. Doesn't care. Not going to say anything sympathetic. Karen. Why do you still live here? This town's a dead end. Kanika. Getting a little personal, huh? Okay. I love this town. Don't get me wrong, but my presence here is temporary. My mom hasn't been too keen on running the general store, and you met Miles. I took some time off school to help keep things running for a bit. Yeah, I know, right, Becca? Oh, Kanika's, like sneering face is so good. I mean, honestly, all of the characters have good, distaste, expressions of distaste. Let's see. Kanika. I took some time off from school to help keep things running for a bit. I'm hoping to get back to it next spring. You and Kanika sit in uncomfortable silence for the last few minutes of the ride. You and Kanika arrive at the mines before Stella. Kanika. Stella's probably going to be another couple of minutes. Stella. Hey y'all, how was the ride? Kanika. Did you run here? Stella. Yep, felt like getting a run in. I didn't want to keep y'all waiting. Kanika. You didn't run into any of those creatures, did you? Stella. Nope. Oh, yes. Becca, let's see. Uncomfortable silence, yes. And yes, Karen does not care about dogs, and so grabbed the flashlight because, the logic behind Karen... Oh, right, and here's the funny thing. Karen has powerful build. Karen could have saved them both, but that is a heroic move, and Karen is not heroic. So she was just like, welp, if I don't grab the shotlight, scary shotgun man might shoot me, so I sure don't care about the dog. But that's the Karen mode. Let's see. Oh, and for my main run, so I actually have 3 other runs on stream. My personal, oh gosh, what did I do? I have, a whole bunch of runs, but, my, I can't remember what my very first one was. I played through by myself before I did any stream. But yes, no, I love this game. So my other 3 runs are, so I have a Thembo. Oh, okay, I will wait a minute, for the ads. Let's see, I will take a drink of water. Let's see, I actually don't know how to tell, if there's a way for me to tell when their ads are done. Oh, hey, Artemisia, thank you for the stretch reminder. That is a great way to pause briefly. Good idea. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna just stand for a second. Oh man, also, I'm slightly overheating, and I'm debating taking off my sweatshirt, but I think maybe not yet. Alrighty. I'm gonna hope that the ads are over by now. Alright, excellent. Artemisia. No, actually, the biggest reason I'm not taking my sweatshirt off is because the shirt I'm wearing underneath it has a swear word on it, and I'm not technically a mature audience's stream, I don't think so. So I'm trying to tough it out with the sweatshirt for now. Right, and also, okay, so Becca, my other runs that I'm doing on stream, so I have a non-binary himbo, who I call, no, I totally do a different person every run, sorry. I do a different romance every run, and so I have well, Karen is probably not going... No, wait, Karen does have a romance option. I almost forgot. Because she's obviously the sort of person who, like, not only liked Twilight, but assumed that that is how relationships should be, which I don't mean to harsh on anyone who enjoys Twilight. You're allowed to enjoy Twilight. But I do strongly hold the opinion that please at least realize it's an extremely unhealthy relationship. Karen obviously does not realize it's an unhealthy relationship, so Reese is going to strike her as dreamy, because she likes stories like that. And probably even more so when she finds out chapter 4. Of my other runs, so my non-binary himbo, aka Thembo, they have a romance with Stella, and so obviously powerful build and hot, because that's how you do a himbo character. Yeah, exactly, Artemisia. Like, it's like, you know, I'm not here to harsh on people's enjoyment of things. I'm firmly of the belief that you are allowed to enjoy problematic things. I just really desperately want people to understand that that is not a healthy relationship. You can like Twilight, just please don't seek to emulate that relationship style. Oh, welcome back, Johnny. So yes, and that's totally legit, Becca. Stella is great. My Thembo is romancing Stella. In my other runs, I usually try to hook Stella back up with Tabitha, although Karen is not going to be doing that. She does not care. So my Thembo is romancing Stella, and is powerful build and hot. And then I have another concept character who I call Silent Max. He can talk to animals and is mystical, but he doesn't like talking to people. So unless there is a mystic or talk to animals option, he will usually choose to remain silent. Oh, yeah. Becca, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Guilty pleasures are A-okay, in my opinion. And I have quite a few myself. Right, what was I saying? Right, so then going over my other runs. Right, so Silent Max, I'm trying to do a romance with Avery, because I've decided that Avery is the only person that Max has started to feel comfortable opening up around, and so he actually talks to Avery. And I've just been enjoying it. Like, my runs with that character tend to go pretty quickly. So yeah, actually, if you check out my VODs, I've already finished the Thembo stream and the Silent Max stream. And currently, I'm in the middle of the Karen run. And after the Karen run, I have one more planned, which is the Good Cousin run, wherein I'm planning to have Kenai and Street Smart, and my primary goal is not so much a romance as... Well, actually, I am trying to thread the difficult path of being best friends with Tabitha and also romancing Kanika on that one. Awesome, thank you, Becca. So actually, if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll find I have previous runs up through chapter 3 of all of these, but when chapter 4 came out, I redid them all. So I think I'm like a little behind. I'm a lot behind on uploading videos to my YouTube, but I have all of the previous versions of the runs, and then I have the Thembo run is all the way up, and the Silent Max run is about halfway up. So there are many, many, many Scarlet Hollow streams to check out on my YouTube. And I hope you will enjoy them. Alrighty, let us go back to this. What was the last thing that was said? So Kanika asked Stella if she had run into any of those creatures, and Stella responds, nope. Kanika, that makes sense. They're probably nocturnal. I don't know if I should feel relieved or disappointed. But we're all here. What's the plan? Stella, I guess we just go talk to people. Kanika, I guess so. Stella, I should probably be on lookout duty. I'm a bit of a persona non grata in the mines. Kanika, Tabitha? Stella, yeah, I might have tried sneaking in to talk to her a time or two too many. Kanika, we're probably less likely to get caught if only one of us is snooping around down there. Let's see. Karen. If Stella's on lookout duty and only one of us is going in, what's the third person doing? Kanika. You know those cheesy rom-coms where someone wears an earpiece on their first date? Stella. Whoa, do you have some sort of surveillance rig in the back of your van that I didn't know about? You know... Oh, right, sorry, I'm looking over, I'm on my chat. And yes, in fact, Johnny One Take is, my good friend and fellow streamer, and I actually, we went through a run of Scarlet Hollow together where I did, like, he had a character who could talk to animals, and I did the voices of all the animals and also the teenagers, because animals and teenagers clearly are the same thing. And also, you know, I bet you could do a... I don't know if you could do a perfect cousin run and romance Stella, but you could certainly do a pretty... I think you can get along with Tabitha pretty well and romance Stella, but, like, it would also be a difficult path to thread, but not quite as difficult as Kanika, because at least Stella is a fan of you liking Tabitha, whereas Kanika is like, excuse me, you like Tabitha? But it's possible, because I think I was doing pretty well with it on my first attempt at that run. But, like, after Chapter 4 came out, there were such major updates that, like, since I had done the original runs, that I wanted to do them all fresh. Which is why I have redone them all, and still have Good Cousin left to go. Alright, so Stella says, whoa, do you have some sort of surveillance rig in the back of your van that I didn't know about? Kanika. What? No. I have a pair of earbuds with a really good mic. We can just do a group call. I'm trying to decide between going to find, like, on the one hand, I'm sure Karen is just, like, not interested in sneaking around, and also doesn't want to talk to people, and, like, people don't scare her, like, but she might claim that to try and get out of it. Yeah, you know, we're gonna do that. Karen's gonna straight up lie and say that talking to people scares her and that you should do it, Kanika. Karen. Talking to people scares me. You should do it, Kanika. Kanika. Oh, damn, Kanika's face. Oh, this was the correct choice for the Karen run. Yeah, exactly, Artemisia. Karens have no problem talking to anyone. She's just trying to not... She just doesn't want to have to do this, because it's an annoying chore. Oh my gosh, yeah, no, their faces. This is amazing. And by amazing, I mean I feel like I have selected correctly for this run. Kanika. Stella. I hate to step in like this, but I really think you're the best choice here, Karen. Kanika. Here's those earbuds I mentioned earlier. Kanika hands you a pair of earbuds. We can feed you questions if you get stuck, and Stella can give you a heads up if Tabitha's headed your way. Stella. Dang, I've missed doing this sort of thing with you. You're so thorough. Kanika. Aw, thanks. I do my best. Stella. I guess we should part ways and start the call, yeah? Stella and Kanika break off, leaving you alone at the entrance to the mines. Your phone buzzes. Stella. Hey! Kanika. Can you hear us? Try saying something. Karen. Won't people notice that I've got earbuds on? Kanika. People these days have all kinds of things in their ears. It's called multitasking. Stella. You'll be fine. Nothing to do now but enter the worksite. Alright, just, Oh, Becca, I bet you're, sorry, I'm just catching up on chat, and I bet I know what you mean for the certain ending of episode 3. I also, I also achieved that on my first run of the Good Cousin character, and I definitely anticipate both achieving that on my next run and acquiring a certain ending of episode 4. Oh, and also, I totally forgot to do this earlier, but... So, that is my friend Johnny, and his Scarlet Hollow streams were actually pretty recent, so they should still be in his VOD history, I think. So, if you want to check out another Scarlet Hollow stream that I guest starred on. Alright. You pass through the unlocked fence and enter the property of the Scarlet Hollow mine. You know what? Yeah, I think Karen is gonna walk in and be like, F this, I don't have to do what people tell me to. I don't want to talk to a bunch of, like, dusty miners. She's gonna go straight to the main office and find her cousin, and then probably be antagonistic towards her cousin. Oh no, Becca. Oh, yeah, no, that's... Episode 4 is rough if you are Team Reese. Though I am excited to do that, go a certain direction with my Karen run. You make your way to the trailer in the middle of camp. You enter Tabitha's trailer and find her sitting at her desk, her head buried in her hands. Tabitha. What are you doing here? And what are those ridiculous things doing in your ears? Kanika. Aw, crap. Good luck. Stella. Sorry, Karen. Tabitha. Are you trying to record me? Tabitha snatches the earbuds out of your ears and throws them onto the ground. Tabitha. Typical phone-addicted city dweller. Ugh. What do you want? Quick, before I kick you out. Let's see. Yeah, let's start with the explore option of Karen. I can just leave if you want. Tabitha. No, you're already here. Might as well tell me what's so important. Yeah, now Karen is just like, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm gonna blame other people. Karen. Stella and Kanika wanted me to snoop around the mines. Tabitha. Kanika? That woman's had it out for me since the day we met. I thought she and Stella stopped hanging out. Ugh, they must have reunited specifically to torment me. And on this of all weeks. From now on, you'd do best to avoid both of them. Why exactly did they want you to break into my mine? Oh no, the option is to be the meanest to everyone. Like, the goal of this run is to be the meanest possible to everyone all of the time, so I'm gonna go for it even though it feels awful. Karen. Oh, they just wanted to torment you. You were 100% right on that one. Tabitha. Well, aren't you cute? And here I thought we were having a moment. Look, I'm kind of swamped right now. I was actually getting ready for a big meeting when you walked in, but if you want, you can just wait here for an hour or so, and I can swing back when I'm done and pick you up. Just don't go around bothering my men. Don't move a muscle. Don't so much as make eye contact with them. They're supposed to be working. I'll see you then. Tabitha leaves the room. As soon as she's gone, you place Kanika's earbuds back in your ears. Stella. Hey, is everything good? Karen. That was a mistake. Kanika. Yeah, no kidding. Stella. Aw, come on, niece. Cut her some slack. Tabby's not that bad. Kanika. She's totally that bad. No use sticking around here. Alright, before I decide which of those I'm going to do, there's a whole bunch. Let's see. Oh, yes. Becca, absolutely. I love there's just so much going on with this game, and, like, the peaceful versus violent versions of the choices, and it's like, who knows how that's... I like to think that the choices where you can kind of get out of them because of your skill are probably going to ultimately have a better result, because that's sort of part of the point of being able to, like, use your skill to negotiate a third option. But for all of the ones where it is, like, where you only have the normal version, that you don't have a skill to get out of it, my impression is that all the options are bad. Like, we don't know how it's going to play out in the long run in some of them, but, like, it's going, like, I can't see anything good coming out of, like, I mean, some of them are more obvious, right? Like, in episode 3, if you sacrifice years of life to the ghost, there's an immediate and very significant consequence. But if you don't, like, the consequences are less immediately obvious, but there could be even bigger, like, the consequences as of episode 4 aren't super bad, but it might get worse as time goes on. And similar, yeah, no, I'm so looking forward to how this game develops. All right, and moving on. Yeah, no, and Becca, her fake smile, and wash your hands of this conversation. Yes. Okay, now I've caught up on chat, but yeah, no. Choices in this game are so cool, and also, you know, I don't mind taking a break after such an aggressively Karen conversation. Just choosing all of the, like, rudest possible options. Alright, I don't think Karen wants to be here or do any of this, and I'm still going with she doesn't actually want to talk to dusty miners, and so she's gonna just be like, F this, I'm done here. Mystical. As soon as you leave Tabitha's office, you're struck by an intense feeling. You recognize the hollow terror as the same thing you felt last night when you set eyes on that awful man in the miner's jacket. Wayne. You shouldn't be up here. It's dangerous. Karen. Stop stalking me. Wayne. You don't have to be afraid of me. Stay home. Wait for the week to end. Don't keep putting yourself in the path of danger. This is all I ask. Oof. Before you can say another word, the figure is gone. Kanika. Hey, Karen, are you still there? We've just been getting static from you. Karen. Nothing happened. Stella. You sure? I could have sworn I saw you talking to someone. Wait, it wasn't Wayne, was it? Are you okay? And this is probably exactly what Karen was trying to avoid by lying and saying that nothing happened, was having to answer annoying questions. You know, yeah, no, I like, on the one hand, she could have thrown Wayne onto the bus, but on the other hand, I think she just was like, nothing happened, I don't want to answer annoying questions. So yeah. Not gonna bother with any of those. We're gonna go with Karen. I'm getting out of here. Stella. Are you sure? Talking to folks here is still probably the best plan we've got. Especially now that Wayne's shown up. Kanika. Stella, if she's scared, she's scared. I'm not about to force her to do something she doesn't want to do. Now, of course, Karen here would argue, yeah, well, what do you call forcing me to go in here and talk to minors in the first place? Stella. Yeah, you're right. Sorry to get a little overeager, Karen. We can regroup outside. As you leave Tabitha's office, you take a moment to get your bearings, only to be interrupted by a sudden movement out of the corner of your eye. A girl carrying a bundle of snacks pops through a hole in the fence and disappears over the crest of a hill. Stella. Hey, I think I just saw Rosalina. Kanika. Wait, really? What is she doing here? Karen. She's probably fine. Kids will be kids, am I right? Kanika. No, I'm going after her before she gets hurt. Stella. Right behind you, Neeks. You rush over the hill and get your bearings. The sound of active mining fading into the distance. Rosalina is nowhere to be found, but dusty footprints point towards a nearby mine. Mystical. Something about the mine feels wrong, as though a cold anger lies burning inside, sucking the life from the surrounding hills. This is the site of a mass grave. Kanika. She didn't. Stella. I guess the old Maxwell place doesn't cut it as a secret hangout spot these days. Kanika. But the Shaw mine? That place was shut down like 100 years ago, after a collapse that killed over 100 people. And here I thought Stella was going to be the one to drag me into an abandoned coal mine. Karen. Maybe we should just wait outside. Kanika. I don't think I could live with myself if something were to happen in there. Let's go. Stella. Whoa, are you sure you want to tag along, Meeks? Karen and I can handle this on our own. Not pictured here. Karen at least thinking to herself, excuse you? What do you mean, me and, like, why are you automatically assuming I'm going in? Kanika. Yeah, I'm sure. As much as I hate confined spaces, I'm not about to let Rosalina get hurt in there. Even if it means I have to go underground. Stella and Kanika disappear into the mines. Before you follow, you briefly wonder if you should let Tabitha know about this. At the end of the day, I think Karen is intrinsically a snitch, and also really doesn't actually want to go into that mine. So she's going to call Tabitha to try and get out of it. You pull out your phone and dial your cousin. Tabitha. What is it? You know I'm in a meeting. Karen. A kid just snuck into the Shaw mine? I figured you should know. Yes, Artemisia lives to get everyone in trouble. Exactly. Tabitha. What? Are you serious? Why do things keep happening to me? Ugh, whatever. I'll head over there as soon as I can. Just stay where you are and wait for me, all right? God, I don't even know why I'm trying to reason with you. It's not like you'll listen. I mean, so Karen is thinking, oh, I will happily wait. I do not want to go in there. But that feels too polite to say. So, you know, if there's an opportunity to be mildly insulting to someone, she will take it. No need, Karen. No need to get snarky. I'll wait. Tabitha. Good. Tabitha hangs up on you. You find a tree to lean against and wait for your cousin. Stella and Kanika will probably be fine without you. You stand outside the mines, anxiously eyeing the tree line, hoping not to glimpse any inhuman movements. Tabitha. Huh, you actually waited for me. I don't know what to say. Karen. Took you long enough. Tabitha. Yeah, I had a meeting. We've been over this. Come on, let's get this over with. Yeah, because let's be real, Karen did not wait for Tabitha because she was trying to be nice or anything that involved Tabitha. Karen is fundamentally self-centered and waited because she did not want to go into the mine at all, frankly. Tabitha. I don't like the thought of you walking around an abandoned coal mine, but I'd rather not leave you out here unattended. You should be safe enough with me there to guide the way. Tabitha huffs her way up to the mine entrance and disappears into the darkness. You follow her and enter the mine. The inside of the mine is warmer than you'd expect, the air thick and wet. The ceiling hangs much lower than you are tall, forcing you and Tabitha to hunch over, your legs bent in a painful squat as you begin to navigate its maze of corridors. This is a rare place where your well-muscled frame feels like it might be more of a hindrance than a help. And yeah, I still win with Powerful Build because it is the least interact with other people skill, but I definitely had canon that Karen obsessively goes to the gym. Because she is vain and cares about her figure, but I couldn't choose hot because that would make people like her way too much. So,
I am guessing her extremely unpleasant personality prevents people from actually finding her that attractive, despite the fact that she is very, very much gym-toned. Tabitha. Do you know why the entrance to this place was boarded up? Yes. Karen. Because deep down you like being a curmudgeon? Tabitha. Very funny, but no. There was a collapse that killed 168 people. A man named Charles Shaw decided it was okay to use faulty wood for support struts, and the entire mine came down. It almost ruined my family. A lucky few died instantaneously, but for most of the souls who perished here, it was slow and agonizing. Trapped under rubble and left to slowly succumb to crush injuries or dehydration. It took a week to clear out most of the rubble and recover the bodies. The few survivors who were dragged out were never the same. I can't say I blame them. Karen. God, that's morbid. Tabitha. Life is morbid. 168 people walked blindly to their deaths, unaware of the hand they'd been dealt until they were literally buried in it. None of us know the price we have to pay until our debt is due. Tabitha's ruminations are interrupted by a thunderous knock echoing from deeper in the mine. Mystical. A hateful and broken presence stirs in the deep. It doesn't want you here. Karen. Oh god, the mine's about to collapse, isn't it? Tabitha. If I thought this mine was about to collapse, neither of us would have set a single foot in here. That's probably just some delinquent looking for a lifetime ban from my property. Come on, it came from this way. Tabitha hastens her pace and quickly disappears deeper into the mine. You take a deep breath and follow suit. The deeper you progress into the mine, the heavier the air becomes. Coal dust hangs in thick clouds around you, even though this place was abandoned over a century ago. Echoing through the tight corridors, you and Tabitha can pick up snippets of a tense argument. Disdainful teen girl, who, funny story, is going to sound quite a lot like my Karen character. I can't believe your dad sent people to follow you. That's messed up. I think that qualifies as harassment. Defensive teen girl. You're right, Becca. It is messed up. I don't need him telling me where I can be. Kanika. You could at least check in so he knows you're not dead. He loves you and worries about you. He's really not asking for much. Stella. Come on, kiddos. There's some real spooky stuff going on in town right now. You shouldn't be hanging out down here. Disdainful teen girl. We're not kids. Chill teen boy. Yeah, we're teens. Kanika. Well, you look like a bunch of kids to me. Are those canned strawberry margaritas? Where did you even get those? Oh, fair enough, Becca. I mean, you know Karen is not heroic enough to even consider it, so that'll be the same here. Thing is, I actually do really like Alexis, but, like, if... I'd be a lot more tempted to leave them down there on all my runs if it were just Becca. But, like, Alexis lacks a backbone, but, like, she quickly gains one if you go back for them. Like Becca, I absolutely get where you're coming from, but, like, the in-game Becca, is absolutely awful, but, like, I consider Alexis to be kind of more of a victim, and so, like, I will usually go back. No, that's totally fair, because, like, especially if you go with Tabitha, she makes a really good point. Like, you don't know, like, in character, you don't know that you can safely go back for those kids, like, and Tabitha is like, the best thing we can do for them is leave and let professionals handle this. And she's not wrong. Like, if the mine had, like, there was every chance the mine would have collapsed with all of you in it. So it's not necessarily the horrible choice. Like, I don't feel that like, a lot of people look at that as, like, the wrong choice, but I don't necessarily think that it's a bad choice. Like, it's true, also, Becca, yes, it is also literally, it is not safe, like, because it's not safe for Rosalina.
But, like, you know, as a player, you can know that, like, okay, the only thing that'll happen is Rosalina losing a foot. But, like, she does lose a foot, and also, in character, you would have no way to know that it isn't just gonna come down around everyone. So, like, you could be condemning yourself and Rosalina and your cousin to a horrible death by crushed rocks. Yeah, and, like, I absolutely agree. Like, the in-game Becca is just the literal worst. And yeah, we don't know yet what happens. It has not been their fates have not yet been revealed as of chapter 4. So we will have to wait until a later time for that. What was the other thing I was thinking? But yeah, no, I have a lot more sympathy for Alexis because, like, peer pressure is a thing, and, like, although Alexis made a bad choice, I do feel like she felt pressured to do so. But yeah, no, I mean, Becca, what I assume, yeah, absolutely, but, like, what I assume is that they won't both be totally dead, but I think my theory is that we will find something horrible has happened to them, and possibly one of them is... Anyway, I'm not going to theorize too much because theorizing too much is gruesome, but, like, I think that we are going to find later down the line there is no way that both of them are just going to be fine and get out of the mine with, like, no injuries and, like, maybe a little bit of psychological scarring. Like, it's... I don't know what's gonna have happened to them down there, but it ain't gonna be pretty. And I guess we'll find out in a future chapter. And I don't think that, like, again, I think it is an absolutely reasonable choice, especially if you're kind of role-playing, to leave them behind. Like, although in my run, Karen is just... she would never even consider risking herself to save other people. That's just not how she does. But it's also, like, in real life, I wouldn't, you know, you don't... because... again, I think Tabitha makes a really good point. Like, the mine is literally about to collapse any second. Like, there are a lot of disaster scenarios where if you aren't confident that you can safely help someone who is in trouble, they actually recommend that in real life that you don't, because, like, you don't want to end up just being another person that the rescue crews have to rescue. Like, you will cause more harm than good if you get caught up in whatever is the danger that the first person you were trying to help is in. Like, it's one thing if you're just, like, dragging someone away from a dangerous situation, but, like, if the situation is still dangerous, the real life recommendation is don't do it. I mean, absolutely, Becca, I agree that as well. Like, I also would not have entered the mine, the best thing to do would have been for Tabitha to just call the cops in the first place and have them go collect the kids. But, you know, something spooky, mystical things have to happen, something. So. But yes, anyway, sorry. I digress. And... yeah, absolutely. The in-character Becca absolutely knows better and is just being awful for the sake of being awful. So, anywho. So anyway, my point being, I think that there are absolutely valid reasons to pick either of the two options in this chapter, to go back for them or to leave them behind. However, because I am playing this character in, you know, role-playing this character in a very specific way, she is not choosing the option she chooses for good reasons. She is choosing them for bad reasons. And that's just because this character is designed to be awful. Kanika. Oh no. I know that isn't you, Miles. It had better not be you. Miles. Yeah, whatever. It's me. What are you even doing here? Tabitha. Looks like we've found our trespassers. I still can't believe that you and Stella managed to drag Kanika out here. She avoids me like the plague. You remain silent. Tabitha. Let's just move on, alright? Yeah, Becca, that's absolutely true. Like, it is very clear the devs are trying really hard to make it so that in all of the choices, all of your options are bad. Like, there is no get out of jail free, there is no right answer, unless you have the skill for it. Like, there can be a right answer if you have the skill for it. But otherwise, like, if you don't, it is, you are just choosing which one you personally want to see out of, like, you're picking one out of two bad options. Something bad is going to happen no matter what you do. It's which one do you think your character would choose for roleplay reasons? Which one do you want to see how it plays out? Or which one do you, the player, think is the better choice? Like, I loved that, actually. That's part of why I love this game so much. There's just so much variety in, like, your choices and the ways that things can play out. Anyway. You breathe a sigh of relief as the tight passageways give way to a small cavern. Within, a group of teens engages Stella and Kanika in a heated argument. All of them are too caught up in the moment to notice you or Tabitha approach. Hoodie Girl. My dad is a foreman at the continuous mining facility, and he says they only abandoned this mine because there wasn't enough coal left, so it's actually really safe and we can hang out here whenever we want. Plaid Girl. Wait, Becca, I thought your dad was a charge hand. Becca. No, Alexis, he got promoted last month. Tabitha. Correction, your father was a foreman at the continuous mining facility. We'll see if he even has a job in the morning. Becca. What? Beady Boy. Oh, shit. Stella. Oh, hey, Tabby. Hey, Karen. We thought we'd lost you there. Kanika. Did you run off to snitch to Tabitha? Kanika sighs. It's probably for the best. These kids are refusing to listen to us. Becca. Hey, don't talk about us like we aren't here. Alexis. Yeah, we can hear you. Becca. Alexis, don't butt in. I'm trying to make a point. Tabitha. Do none of you understand what a boarded up mine entrance is supposed to mean? It means it's closed, condemned, not fit for human use. Beanie Boy. Aw, come on, this place is way sturdy. Check it out. The teen with the beanie jumps up and slaps a strut on the ceiling. Stella. Oh, was that the knocking we were hearing earlier? Becca. Oh my god, Zane, cut it out. You're embarrassing us. I'm sorry for Zane's behavior. I don't think he realizes how extremely 8th grade it is to jump up and hit things. No offense, Becca. Sorry. No offense, Rosalina. Rosalina. None taken. The other 8th graders are totally immature. Alexis. Not like you, Rosalina. You're chill. And smart, too. Tabitha. Enough. The damage is already done. Now leave. I am tired of people in this town dragging my cousin headlong into danger. Kanika. I can't believe I actually agree with Tabitha about anything, but this is the worst place I've ever been in my entire life, and I would like to see the sun again before I die. Stella. Aw, come on, you guys. Maybe it's not a big deal. We used to do dangerous stuff all the time, and I still do dangerous stuff now. I mean, I don't like this particular situation, what with the whole ditchling thing, but outside of that, who are we to tell them where they can hang out? Tabitha. I don't know who you think you are in this situation, Stella, but I own this mine. It is entirely within my rights to tell them to leave, much like it is entirely within my rights to tell you to leave. Oops, sorry, I clicked that too fast. Was your lifetime ban from my mines not a clear enough message for you? Becca. Hell yeah, Tabitha! Tear the sad 20-something to shreds. Stella. Hey, I'm defending you. And I'm not sad. Where did you get that idea? Becca. Running a clickbaity YouTube channel where you run around in the woods chasing nothing is extremely sad. Tabitha. So she's sad. So what? Give it a few years and you'll be sad too. The passage of time is inescapable. Becca. Look, we just wanted to give Rosalina a good time. Her home life sucks right now. Alexis. Yeah, tell him about where you have to sleep, Rosalina. Rosalina. We've been living in the library for the past couple weeks. Dad says we can't stay at our house. Zane. We've got a hot plate and a couple of cots in the back rooms. It's actually a pretty sick setup. Becca. No, it isn't, Zane. Alexis. Rosalina deserves better. Tabitha. I don't care about your home life. If you're going to do your underage drinking, go do it in the woods. Just get off my property. Kanika. Tabitha! Look, Rosalina, I'm sure Oscar has a good reason for all of that. He's a good guy and he cares about you. Rosalina. He thinks our house is haunted. Kanika. Oh. Stella. Wait, what? Tabitha. And I should care because... Becca. Because it's such a bullshit excuse. I bet he couldn't afford it anymore and is lying to you to save face. What a coward. Zane. Becca, I don't think you can, say that about other people's families. Isn't that, bullying or something? Becca. Shut up, Zane. Stella. Becca, he says it's haunted? I can't believe he didn't mention it to me. I could investigate. Rosalina. There's no ghost, Stella. It would be cool if there was, but Becca's right. I just wish he would be honest with me and tell me what's really going on. It's like he doesn't think I can handle it. Like I'm still a little kid. Tabitha. Ugh. You're all children, and none of you realize how good you have it. Back in the day, each and every one of you would have been pulling 12-hour shifts in this exact mine. If it weren't for child labor laws, the 5 of you might have some actual character. Becca. Exactly. Rosalina's not that mature anyway, and she still sleeps with a stuffed animal. Okay, I think I've commented on this every single time I've played through, but I will never not comment on it. It is okay to sleep with stuffed animals, no matter what age you are. It is not a sign of maturity. You're allowed to do that if you want to. Alexis. That doesn't mean she's not mature. I still have pork chop, you know. Becca. I rest my case. Zane. Wait, what did you say about child labor? Don't mind me. I have actually really... I like my voices for most of these characters, but I just have never been able to get Zane down. Yeah, I mean... On the one hand, this is what I pick when I'm not doing the Karen run. On the other hand, I do think it is a reasonable thing to say whether you are saying it for other people's sake or for your own sake. Karen. I'm not going to weigh in on this. This is between you and your dad, and the two of you should talk about it anywhere that isn't here. Tabitha. I couldn't agree more. Zane. Yeah, if Rosalina's house is haunted, we should break in and, ghost busted or something. Sounds pretty rad to me. Tabitha. Whatever gets you delinquents out of my mind. Becca. Oh my god, Zane, you can't ghost bust if there is no ghost. Miles. Also, Rosalina lives there. She can't break into her own house. Stella. There's no ghost that you know of. I bet we could figure out how to bust it if it's actually real, and if it isn't real, well, problem solved. Alexis. You know, Rosalina, you could always stay over at my house until Stella ghost busts your place. We have a finished basement with a pull-out couch. Becca. Why are we talking about this like it's a thing? It's not a thing. There is no ghost. Fair enough. Tabitha. I don't care, and I can't believe I've wasted this much time trying to argue with children. I'm washing my hands of this and calling the cops. Feel free to leave before they show up. Kanika. You hear that, Miles? We're leaving. I suggest the rest of you kids leave this empty mine before someone gets black lung or gets crushed by rocks or meets any one of many terrible fates people tend to meet in abandoned mines. Kanika is interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. Oh, sorry, I just remembered. Yeah, okay. Zane. That wasn't me, I swear. Kanika. Then what was it? Come on, Stella, didn't you have a whole list of perfectly natural explanations for scary mind noises? Stella. It's Tommyknockers for sure. I know this isn't why we came down here, but we've gotta check it out. They're an old Cornish myth, named for the knocking sound you can sometimes hear in mines right before a collapse. Some say the knocking's a warning, while others say it's spirits bringing while others say it's the spirits themselves bringing down the mines. Tabitha and Kanika. Stella. I mean, that's not all they do. They're also sometimes just mischievous. Tabitha and Kanika. Stella. I know, but weird stuff's been happening around here the past few days. What if this is our chance to get an actual solid lead? The stakes couldn't be higher. Kanika. Do you have no sense of self-preservation? Tabitha. I want you out of here, Stella. Oh, come on, Tabby. You can come along too. Zane. If you guys are going after something spooky, count me in. Tabitha. Nobody is going deeper into the mine. Nobody is staying in the mine. You're all leaving. Kanika. Please, listen to Tabitha before my heart gives out. Stella. It'll be fun, Meeks. Kanika. It will not. Wait a second. Where'd 3 of you run off to? Are you kidding me? Tabitha. Unbelievable. Miles. Wow, Kanika, maybe if you weren't still scared of the dark or whatever, you would have noticed them sneak off. I noticed them sneak off, and, I've been zoning out the whole time we've been here. Tabitha. Ugh. They must have squeezed through that child-sized tunnel. Stella. Dang, I've always wondered where that goes. I've never been able to get these hips through there. Tabitha. Stella, stop sneaking into my mines. Please, I am literally begging you. If only all of the tunnels down here were wide enough for adults, we could already be done with this little mess, but no, there just have to be remnants from a bygone era. Zane. Didn't you just talk about how child labor was the good old days a minute ago? Tabitha. I was trying to get you to leave my mine. Becca's head pops out from the tunnel's entrance. Becca. We are not about to let you come in here and ruin our good time. The mine is safe. I've been here a million times. Alexis. Yeah, if Becca says we're safe, then we're totally safe. Becca. Whatever. Come on, you two. I know a cool spot this way. Tabitha. Okay, I think I know where that tunnel rejoins the rest of the mines. I'll go look for them, and I want each and every one of you to take note of the fact that I'm doing that. If those idiots get themselves lost and die, I am not letting their families sue me into the ground. Kanika. Are those really your priorities right now? Tabitha. Yeah? Do you have a problem with that? I want the rest of you to get out of my mind. Except for you, Karen, I'm not letting you out of my sight. Zane. Yeah, sure. I could never fit in that tunnel anyway. They have crossed a barrier that I cannot, so my time here is up. But only because Stella promised me a ghost hunt tomorrow. Miles. Whatever. I still have to do my dailies anyway, and the service down here sucks. Kanika. I will happily escort these 2 knuckleheads out. Stella. Puppy dog eyes. Tabitha. No. You are not about to weasel your way into this, Stella. Stella. Aw, come on, Tabby. I've been down here a ton. I can totally help out. Tabitha sighs. Ugh. There's no getting rid of you, is there? Fine, I won't waste my time arguing. Karen. Do I have to come with you? Tabitha. Yes. You're safer than me than you are leaving with those 3. Kanika. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Stella. Aw, don't worry, Karen. It'll be fun. And safe. Tabitha. I'm sure that's exactly what you told her last night, and we all know how that ended. I'm coming with you, but it's because I want to come along, not because you're making me. I just want to make that clear. You know what? Actually, I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, I'm not sure. That was really just the contrarian answer. There is no way Karen actually wants to do that. I think she's just lying. Tabitha. Noted. Let's not linger any longer than we have to, shall we? Kanika. I'll see you on the other side. Hopefully soon. Stella. For sure. We won't be long. Zane. Cool. Can't wait to bust some ghosts tomorrow. Kanika, Miles, and Zane head towards the entrance of the mines, leaving you, Tabitha, and Stella to find the remaining teens. Tabitha. All right, no dawdling. We should be able to catch up with them if we go this way. You and Stella exchange a glance as Tabitha ventures forward. Venture deeper into the mine. As the three of you move deeper into the mine, you hear echoes of conversation bounce across the walls. Alexa. But, Becca, why are we doing this again? I thought you thought Tabitha was, like, really cool. Why are you trying to get her all mad? Becca. We're doing this because Tabitha is really cool. She doesn't let anyone boss her around, so we can't just let her boss us around. Stella. Aw, you hear that, Tabby? Someone thinks you're cool. Becca. I can't believe she used to hang out with a nobody like Stella. Tabitha. Silence, but smirking. Stella. Hey! Rosalina. I don't know. I think Stella's kind of cool. Her videos are really neat. Becca. Oh, come on. She doesn't even have a sponsor. What kind of a YouTuber doesn't have a sponsor? Stella. I mean, not yet, but I'm in talks with Meat Rice, and I make plenty from ads and donations. Karen. I'm just glad they're not gossiping about me. Sorry, I'm now finding myself having to differentiate between Karen voice and Becca voice. They are very similar ways of talking for how I'm voicing them. Stella. Yeah, I know they're just teens, but some of that stuff stung. Another knock, closer, interrupts your thoughts, followed by another, followed by another. Stella. Is it just me, or is that knocking coming from the same direction as those kids? Johnny, I don't even think I'm going to differentiate between my Karen and Becca's mom, because, like, insert that meme, like, put my character profile image of Karen over here and Becca's mom, and then it's like, corporate wants you to find the difference between these two pictures. They are the same picture. Oh, also, yes, Johnny, that meme would also work. Two Spider-Mans pointing at each other. They are the same. Tabitha. It's not just you. Rosalina. Okay, that knocking is starting to freak me out. Becca. Calm down, Rosalina. It's just mine sounds. Alexis. Did you guys see that? Becca. No, it was just a shadow. There's no reason to get freaked out. Rosalina. I saw it. Becca. Shut up! There's nothing down here! Stop trying to scare me! Let's see. I will choose one of these options, but oh yes, Johnny, exactly. No, I would like to speak to your manager. Oh, man. No. Definitely not. Probably that one. Tempting to do that one. One of these two, but I think I'm gonna do this one because Tabitha kind of likes it if you say this one, and I don't want people to like Karen. Karen. I knew coming down here was a bad idea. Those kids are going to die, and then we're going to die too. Tabitha. Nobody is going to die unless you start panicking. Get a grip on yourself. You press on. As you progress deeper into the mine, the knocking grows more frequent. It's still distant, but it's much louder than before. The tunnel ends abruptly in front of you. A century-old ladder is the only way forward. In the darkness beyond, you can still hear the echoes of terrified teens, their panicked arguing bouncing down the pitch-black corridors. Mystical. The pit radiates rage, a white-hot anger. It hates you, but at the heart of it, you can sense something else, the quiet hum of a darker presence. The heart calls to you, desperate to be witnessed. Tabitha. And here we are. The tunnel they crawled through passes through the chamber below. It shouldn't be hard to find them once we get down there. Stella. I've never been this far in. Tabitha. Congratulations, Stella. You got what you wanted. Tabitha crawls up to the ladder and disappears over its edge. Stella. All right, let's do this. Stella hoists herself over the edge and begins to climb down. You walk to the ladder and climb down. Becca. I'm pretty sure this is the way back. Come on! Alexis. Pretty sure? I thought you'd been down here before. Becca. Okay, maybe I didn't get this far in, but whatever. It doesn't matter. I definitely remember the way out. Hurry, I don't want to be down here anymore. Rosalina. I think it was actually this way. Becca. Oh, shut up! No one even wanted you to come with us anyway. Alexis. Becca! Tabitha. Yep, they're close all right. Good thing they're so damn loud. Stella. It sounds like they're really lost. The voices around you, those of the teens and your companions, sound odd, distant. There is something in the darkness before you that is much louder, though you don't hear it. You don't hear it, but you can feel it in your chest. A desperate need to perceive and be perceived. Stella. Hey, are you all right, Karen? Tabitha. What are you doing? Get away from there! Your cousin dives towards you, but not before the light from your phone illuminates the passage ahead. Standing man. You said we wouldn't use this shipment. You know it's compromised. Seated man. We couldn't afford to wait on new wood, Charles. We had to go ahead with it. It's still sturdy enough. It'll get the job done. Stella. Karen! Karen, are you all right? Oh, thank God, you're alive. It looked like you had a seizure or something, and then you and Tabby just conked out. Tabitha. I'm fine. Ugh. Stella. You can barely open your eyes. You're not fine. Neither of you move a muscle. I don't want you straining yourselves while you're still recovering from whatever that was. I'm going to get you both some help. I'll be back soon, I promise. You fade back out of consciousness as your companion clambers out of the pit, intent on your rescue. You raise up on your elbows, head still swimming from the visions, your surroundings coming back into focus. Your head throbs as the knocking continues, now magnitudes more intense than ever. Through it, you once again hear the panicked voices of bickering teenagers echoing through the stone corridors. Rosalina. Becca, you're just getting us more lost. It's this way. Becca. If you're so sure, then why don't you just leave? I can't believe I let Alexis talk me into inviting you in the first place. Rosalina. Becca, I'm just trying to help. Becca. I said go! Rosalina. Okay, I will. Alexis, you don't have to go with her. You know that, right? Alexis. Becca. Pick a side, Alexis. Alexis. I'm sure Becca knows where we're going. She wouldn't just lie. Sorry, Rosalina. The increasingly desperate voices of the teens are drowned out by the thunderous knocking. You can practically feel the ground shake beneath you, can almost see the walls vibrate with the intensity of the hellish sound. Tabitha. God, that knocking is not helping my headache. What the hell just happened? Karen. We should get out of here! Tabitha. I couldn't agree more. Rosalina appears in the passageway to your left. She's out of breath and it looks like she's been crying. Rosalina. I'm so sorry I snuck off like that. I just wanted Alexis to think I was cool. The entire cavern shakes with the sound of rockfall. Tabitha. I don't know what the hell is up with this knocking, but that is the sound of a mine collapse. Quick, up that ladder, both of you. Rosalina. Well, wait! Becca and Alexis are still down there. You can't just leave them here. I know which way they were going. They'll listen to you this time, I promise. Tabitha. Do you have a death wish, little girl? This isn't a movie. The best thing we can do to help those girls right now is to not be buried alive ourselves. Alright, this is going to be the last break I take before running through the escape from the mines, which is also very intense, and I'm not going to stop between it. And yes, oh man, Rosalina. They are just awful to Rosalina, and I can also understand why that would make you want to leave. Yep, absolutely. No. The character Becca is the literal worst. She is a deeply awful person, and her being a teenager does not excuse her actions. Yeah. It's just sad that Alexis couldn't grow a backbone faster. Yeah, exactly. Literally that. Alright. Alrighty. We are getting the F out of here. As previously mentioned, not because Karen is worried about anyone's safety, but her own. In fact, it is because Karen is incredibly self-centered, and there is no way she would even consider, even if she thought it was safe to do so, there's no way she would consider even slightly risking herself for another person. So, out of here we go. You reach towards Rosalina. Yeah, honestly, all of these are like placating her, and I don't think Karen would care. Like, if anything, I think the only reason Karen would be grabbing Rosalina is actually so Rosalina doesn't try to drag them back into the mine to look for the other two. So we're gonna take advantage of powerful build this once. There's no time to argue. Pick her up and start climbing. There's no time to argue. Against her protestations, you grab Rosalina with one arm and start climbing out of the pit with the other. Rosalina. Hey, what are you doing? We need to warn them! Put me down! Alexis! Becca! The way out is this way! If you just follow my voice, you'll be able to make it out! Tabitha. This way! Come on! Your cousin moves with the kind of swiftness you'd expect from someone who's spent her entire working life in and around coal mines. Rosalina. Becca! Alexis! Can you still hear me? The knocking drowns out Rosalina's desperate shouts as the three of you crawl closer and closer to the entrance. Rosalina. I'm so sorry! I'm so sorry I left you guys! It's deafening now, as if someone were trying to break through the walls with fists of iron. You continue to push forward, your burning muscles giving way to pure adrenaline. Then comes the sound of splintering wood. You pick up the pace. The entrance is so close. Rosalina. I'm so sorry! And there it is. The three of you manage to squeeze through the entrance just as the walls of the mine come crashing down. Rosalina. Alexis! Alright. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Poor girl, Rosalina, just sobbing, like... Rosalina did not deserve any of this. Frankly, neither did Alexis, but alas, she did not learn to grow a backbone fast enough. Oh, Johnny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, alright. Like, keen eye is the only way out of this. Otherwise, you can go back for the kids, but Rosalina ends up critically injured. Like, not terminally injured, but Johnny, the two choices are you go back for the other two and you can get them, but Rosalina is literally crippled. Otherwise, you don't go back for them and they're trapped. And we still don't know what happens to them. As of chapter 4, their fate has not yet been revealed. Alright, Stella. Do you think the other two... Kanika. Maybe they got out. It's possible, right? Maybe there's another entrance or something. Or Stella. Or... Oh my god, it's Stella's not okay face. Oh, right. I did forget about that. The update they have heard one voice. And yes, Stella looks exhausted. This is Stella's I'm totally fine TM face, wherein she is obviously not fine. Stella. Or maybe they're still alive in there? Kanika. Oh god. Rosalina. I'm so sorry. Kanika. Rosalina, are you okay? Your dad's on his way. He should be here any minute. Rosalina. I'm so sorry. Tabitha. I'm going back to camp. I'll be back with some men, and they can start digging. Stella. I'll call Earl. Also, Rosalina's, 1,000-yard traumatized stare here. It takes a bit of time, but eventually Tabitha arrives with men and a machine to start digging through the rubble. You, Stella, and Kanika are afforded a quiet moment to yourselves as the others get to work. Yup, indeed, nobody is alright here, Becca. You are not wrong. Yep, I think the only explore here that Karen is going to take is... Karen. I can't believe you left us down there. Stella. Kanika. Lay off her. What was she supposed to have done? Dragged your and Tabitha's unconscious bodies up a rickety old ladder? Stella. No, Kanika, it's okay. I'm sorry. I had no idea how long the two of you would be out of commission. I had to get help. Kanika. Hey, at least you're alive, right? Karen. What happens now? Oscar. Hey guys, I don't think she's quite ready to talk just yet. What happened down there? Yeah, I hear that, Becca. I just have to commit in this run to being mean to everyone, because I am constantly sad that I have been mean to people. But if I dwelled on that, I wouldn't be able to get through this run, so... Boldly onward. Or rudely onward. Thank you. Alright. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna go with Karen. Have you met the kids Rosalina hangs out with? Oscar. Yeah, Rosalina's lived here since she was 2, so she basically grew up with them. They're a little older than her, and yeah, they get into some trouble, but I didn't think they were bad kids or anything. They're always so polite to me, especially that Alexis. Gosh, that poor girl. Always acted like a dog somebody had kicked. And now she's in there. It's not right. Stella. It's gonna be okay, Oscar. Yeah. Karen. I don't know what they were expecting. They took a big risk. They knew how it would end, and they did it anyway. Oscar. That's not fair to them. They're still kids. We can't blame them for stuff like this. In fairness, I would argue we can blame Becca. She is as we have commented before, she is damn well old enough to know better. Yes, absolutely. Viewer Becca, I agree. Character Becca is awful. Like, I did say that as what felt like the most bit, like, you know, from Karen's perspective, she's just being awful, but, like, that is also not an unreasonable thing to say. Sometimes it's like, the things I have my Karen character say are not intrinsically mean, but it's, like, in the way she says it. Let's see. Doesn't care, doesn't care. Something, no, doesn't care. Doesn't care, doesn't care. Yep. Yeah, I mean, at the very least, when Rosalina was like, no, I'm very sure it's this way, Becca shouldn't have just freaking lied and been like, nope, I know the way! And Alexis should have trusted Rosalina over Becca, but alas. Anyway, Stella. Stella. Rosalina told us about how your house is haunted. I think she was just trying to get away from that. Oscar sighs.
Rosalina told you that? Yes, it's true. But you have to understand, there's something in that house.
Stella. We believe you, Oscar. Kanika. Silence.
Oscar. I couldn't let it hurt her, and since I didn't know how to get rid of it, I set up a back room at the library for us. Just until I could figure out how to fix things. I know she hates it, but I thought it would be better for her. Instead, it just drove her away, staying with friends, not checking in, and now this. It's all because of that house. And because of me, because I haven't been able to fix this. I just wish she could understand.
Man, Oscar is so down on himself, though. Let's see. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Sorry, I was just catching up on chat there. Okay, a lot of these are, like, way too friendly. Let's just go with ghosts aren't real, because... In denial. Absolutely in denial. Yes, indeed, Johnny. Oh, yes, Becca, I don't have any characters that are romancing Oscar, but I made a, like, book lover library, like, a book smart character who I envisioned as... Actually, I think I did book smart hot, and then romanced Oscar on an off-stream run. What was I... Sorry. Yes, alright, so ghosts aren't real is what Karen is saying. Karen. Ghosts aren't real. Man, even Kanika glared at her for that one. Wow. Oscar. Silence. Stella. It doesn't matter if what's haunting Oscar's house is a ghost or if it's something else. What matters is that we can help. Kanika. Most likely we'll figure out what non-ghost thing it actually is. Stella. Either way, though, we're here for you. Oscar.
Thanks, you guys. That really means a lot. I shouldn't have kept this to myself, but I was so afraid of seeming ridiculous.
Rosalina. Dad, you must be so mad at me.
Oscar. Oh, Rosa, no. Of course I'm not mad at you.
Rosalina. Do you think that maybe they got out? Maybe there's another exit somewhere?
Oscar. Rosalina.
Rosalina. I should have pushed back harder. I knew the way out. I should have made them come with me. I just don't want them to be dead. I'm so sorry, Dad.
Oscar. You don't have to be sorry. You're alive and you're safe.
Rosalina. We couldn't have gone back for them, right? We wouldn't have made it out if we went back. Yes. Okay, I think of these options, none of, like, this I think is the best one. Karen. We had to make a choice. It's best not to regret it. Rosalina. I mean, I guess I could also have remained silent, but of those options, I think the best for Karen is just, had to make a choice. I live with no regrets and make everyone hate me, and so I don't care. Or rather, I make everyone hate me, but then I also live with no regrets, so that I don't care. Yes, there we go. Rosalina. It's just not fair. Why me and not them? Oscar. I know how difficult this is, and you can be upset for as long as you need to be, Rosa. I think the best thing you can do for your friends right now, until we get them out of there, is to enjoy the life you have. I know I haven't made that easy for you. I know you've been frustrated with the choices I've made. But I'm going to do what it takes to move us back into our house. We're going to have a good life again, Rosa. I'm sorry I didn't do this sooner. I'm sorry this is what it took. Rosalina. Dad. Stella. We're on the case. Oscar. We'll be okay. I promise. I'm going to take her home. I guess we'll see the three of you tomorrow. And thank you, Karen. You have no idea how much I appreciate what you did for Rosalina. Karen, to herself, shrugging. Alright, sure. I just didn't want her to drag me back in. As Oscar and Rosalina leave, your cousin exhaustedly saunters over to you. Tabitha. Alright, Karen. My men are set up to start digging. Let's get home and get some rest. Younger cop. Now hold on a minute, Miss Scarlet. Mine? Older cop. Oh wait, sorry, no, that was the younger cop. Now hold on a minute, Miss Scarlet. Older cop. Mind if we have a word with your cousin, miss? In private? Tabitha. Okay, fine. Just make it quick, and don't you dare try and pull anything on her. She did nothing wrong here. Younger cop. Ladies, I'm afraid that means you too. Stella. Don't you need to talk to us? We witnessed this too. Older cop. Oh, sure, but that can wait. We know where to find y'all. I'm Sheriff Ugby, and this is Deputy Derrickson, but you can call me Earl. Deputy Derrickson. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Sheriff Earl. Welcome to Scarlet Hollow. Hope this little accident hasn't colored your perception of the place. Lovely place to live, if you ask me. Deputy Derrickson. Lovely indeed. Now, Sheriff Ugby, don't you think it's a mite odd that these teens found themselves in an old abandoned mine on the very property Karen's family happens to own? And don't you think it's even a mite bit odder that Karen happened to be there with them at the time of said collapse? Sheriff Earl. I'd be lying if I said it weren't peculiar, though I'm sure you're an upright citizen, Karen, and all this is surely an unfortunate coincidence. Still, a good cop should ask themselves these questions. You've got to understand where we're coming from. 2 kids, 15 and 14, are buried alive down there, and maybe they're dead. And you were on the premises. Whether or not that was merely coincidence remains to be seen, but we've got to do our diligence here. Nope. Maybe not. Definitely not. Or not definitely not. No. It's either I don't have to talk to you, or if it wasn't for me, they'd all be dead. Karen does like to take credit for things, I'm sure. Like, she didn't do it for other people, but now that she has, she will absolutely take, like, haha, now I can brag. On the other hand, yeah, no. Karen. If it wasn't for me, they'd all be dead. Deputy Derrickson. And yet 2 children are buried alive. I wouldn't pat yourself on the back if I were you. Sheriff Earl. I'm sure you were well-intentioned. We just need to make sure we perform our duty as officers of the law. Deputy Derrickson. Well, if there's nothing more you can tell us, I suppose we'll let you go on about your evening, but we may be in touch. Have a good one. Deputy Derrickson tips his hat to you. The 2 officers wander back towards the mine, Derrickson taking notes as they examine the scene. You make your way towards Stella and Kanika. Stella. I just can't believe it. I left them behind in there to get help. Is it my fault, Meeks? Kanika. Stella, no, you did your best. It's not your fault. Stella. Oh, hey, guess the cops are done with you? What, are they going to take you in for being present at an accident? Oh, Stella's not okay face again. Kanika. Sorry if they gave you a hard time. Small town cops, you know? Stella. Always blame everything on drifters. Even acts of God, I guess. Oh, Stella, I don't think that was an act of God. I think that was an act of malice, of malicious entities. Tabitha. Excellent. You didn't get arrested. Now come on, let's go back to the estate. I'd like to get some rest before I have to deal with the fallout of everything that happened tonight. Stella. I'll see you tomorrow, okay, Karen? Tabitha. Excuse me. Just stop trying to get my cousin killed, Stella. Come on, let's go. Tabitha starts walking to her car, pulling you by your arm. You pull your arm from Tabitha's hand. I can walk to the car on my own. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. You try to keep an eye on the surrounding wilderness as she drives, wary of what might lurk behind the tree line. Yeah, no. Yep, let's just go with Karen. I'm doing terribly, by the way, in case you wanted to know. Tabitha. Yeah, me too. I've got to focus on the road, though. Karen. I don't appreciate being dragged off like that. Tabitha. It's been a long day, Karen. Are you really going to make a fuss about me bringing you back to the estate? Don't answer that question. I don't have the energy to get into it. Your eyes wander back to the tree line as you and Tabitha slink back into silence. You once again cross the threshold into the estate, the musty stench of the decaying mansion greeting you with its undertones of mildew and wood rot. Tabitha. Well, this day was a lot more stressful than it needed to be, and I'm sure it's the precursor to a horrifically stressful week. I'm going to bed. I suggest you do the same. Thanks for calling me about those kids, by the way. It was unexpected. And for waiting for me. I appreciated it. I'll see you in the morning. Tabitha turns and makes her way up to the stairs, her posture defeated. You head up to your room to turn in. You collapse in Tabitha's dusty guest bed, your head empty of thoughts. After your time in the Shaw mine, you barely even notice the dust. Your phone buzzes on the table. Kanika. Y'all, these are those things, right? Kanika sends a picture of a pair of ditchlings by the side of the road. Stella. I saw them again, too. Another picture, this time of them staring from a tree. Kanika. What the fuck? These things are definitely not hairless monkeys or raccoons or whatever. I don't know what the hell they are. Stella. I guess there's more to them being here than the mine collapse. Kanika. No way I'm sleeping tonight. You think about looking out the guest room window, but at this point you're too exhausted to leave your bed. The adrenaline from this evening is finally wearing off, replaced by a creeping exhaustion that threatens to overwhelm you. Your limbs feel heavy, your eyelids slipping down over your eyes even as you stare down at the ominous pictures on your phone. If it weren't for the pit of dread balling in your stomach, you would almost feel comfortable as you settle in between the covers, your tired bones sinking into the decrepit mattress. When you close your eyes, your thoughts drift to Alexis and Becca, terrified and alone, if not already dead. Your eyes shoot back open, your heart pounding as the door to your room swings open. Just the cat. It's always just the cat. It's nice to see another living being, even one as unfriendly as Tabitha's cat. The comfort of her presence sets your mind at ease, and you finally slip into a deep sleep. Woof. All right, so that's chapter 2 of the Karen run. Anyone who wants to keep tuning in, hopefully chapter 3 will be next week, but there is a chance that I will actually end up missing that stream. It depends entirely on, to be full disclosure, my husband's going in for a surgery, which should just be a, like, normal routine thing. He's coming back the same day, but it's gonna depend on, I'm hoping I will stream and he'll just be lying in bed, but if, you know, anything, you know, God forbid anything goes wrong, or if it just doesn't feel like a good idea for me to stream, I might miss next week, but hopefully everything will go as smoothly as it ought to, and I will be on stream and just, like, I will stream and just be on call in case he needs anything. So hopefully next week will be chapter 3. If not, it will be the week after, and that will be Monday at, I have been doing 4 p.m. Like, if it's next week, it'll be 4 p.m. If it's the week after, I actually might do it a little earlier because I want to, I have an every other week evening thing, and I want to try to get through the whole chapter in one go. So, oh, will do, Johnny. But yes, so I will hopefully be back at this next week, next Monday around the same time, and if not next Monday, then the Monday after. And also I will, hopefully I will be doing my normal Friday streams this week, so. Alrighty, and with that, thank you everyone, thank you so much, and yes, Johnny, I will check Discord after this, and thank you, Johnny One Take, thank you, Artemisia, and thank you, Becca Loves Games. It was lovely to meet you in chat, and I hope I will see you at some future Scarlet Hollow streams. And with that, see you later, everyone. Bye!